Hello and welcome to the Analyser. It's Australian Cup Day at Flemington this Saturday. There's a bit of rain around. Joining me as always, Dave Strehlau.
It's a tremendous day of racing. We haven't had to deal with these conditions for quite some time in Victoria, but a lot of rain was around Thursday. More hit the track than expected. That saw it somewhat of a soft 7 this morning, but then some winds got up, so the official rating went up as a soft 6. Tomorrow, though, there are some showers, 2 to 8 mil forecast in the morning. If the upper end of that 2 to 8 mil hits, it actually could get to the heavy range. Those winds are from the south. When the rail is true, they get off the fence. So we know Southerly's on the circle at Flemington. It's a huge advantage to be on pace. I think it's not going to be quite as much this weekend because that inside is going to chop out.
I think we're looking lower end of, because there's more showers forecast Friday night too. So lower end probably 6 and high, 7. You're thinking somewhere in that range, 6 or 7 most likely?
6 or 7 most likely. And just on the straight races as well, with that wind blowing from the south and them chopping the inside, I'm very confident you want to be middle to outside this week.
Yeah, agree with that completely. So let's get a marker. Thanks to Ladbrokes for the first of 10. And she's an artist. Well, I reckon they've got a photo of her on the wall at Ladbrokes. $1.45 out to $1.50. She's short again. Gentle Steel's good win last time, particularly given the subsequent pattern. $7.50 to $5.50, Eagle Express at $7.50, and a little bit of support for Pop Award at $14 to $12. Who's a horse? We're going to have a look at a replay of, given she's an artist is $1.50, I just wanted to find something to beat her, David. And this horse, I'm not completely convinced she's going as well at her best based on this first up run. But she was slowly away. It was a completely on-pace dominated race. She did some work in the middle stages. She ran the second quickest last 200 metres of the race. I think the soft track's a big plus for her. I look back to last preparation where she beat Vidal in fast time. She then beat Arkansas Kid on soft ground. Look, that form obviously ties in with she's an artist. It's good enough to be a leading contender in this race. Would we like to see a bit more first up? Yes. But you get $12 versus $1.50, a horse that she'd be pretty close to if she was at her best.
Yeah, I didn't find her off that first up run. It's an even race outside of the favourite. Now, the favourite's $1.50, but this time I actually don't think she's being priced off that huge spike number. She's actually being priced off her last 2 numbers. If she runs to what she did last start when she gapped third, I think she'll take care of these, but I don't want to bet at $1.50. Bit of giving the ground suits Bossy Nick.
Yeah.
She's got Pizzazz, was below her best first up. Gentle Steel's up and going.
Yeah, I'm going to have something very small, just at the prices on Pop Award, because if she's anywhere near her best, she is well and truly better chance than a $12 hope in this race. She's an artist. She can win, but she's just, look, even off her last 2 start rating, I think she's too short. Bossy Nick's over the odds, I think, and Gentle Steel's a strong winning hope. As we get a market with Ladbrokes for the second at Flemington. Burma Star, $5. Wise In-Law well back, 7 into 6. Wouldn't be surprised to see that support continue. Cafe Olay, 7 into 6. Exit $6.50 to 7. And it's Lawborough, Yum, Rameses, Hook and Spur, all in the betting. A very open second race on the program, Dave. Let's have a look at Wise In-Law. Second up, I think they maybe were trying to ride him conservatively. It didn't work because he gave away his biggest asset. He was back and wide. My read is third up, they'll go forward. Do you agree?
He's led races in the past, even over 1,200 metres. I'm not sure if he leads today, but he's got terrific options from barrier 4. There's no doubt he'll be closer to the speed. He was back wide last start in a race that actually ran pretty good time, and he still ran second fastest close of the race despite that wide run. So I think that tops him off really nicely. Although he was gapped in 4th first up as well, he was beaten home by Devil Knight, Group 1 place, and also Beskar went up and won a stakes race in Sydney too. So the form around him's quite good. I thought that he should be favoured. I wouldn't be surprised if his price trims up closer to jump. Completely
agree with all your points. I think he should be favourite. He's going to have that... Look, Burma Star's got the class, a similar sort of profile to him, but he's just going to likely be conceding him a big start in running. Let's have a look at the horse I thought might be one of the better roughies on the program here in Chowdown. The thing I really like about this horse is what you see is, as we pick up the replay, it looks like Handsome Missile's going to go straight past him. It even looks for a few strides like he's not going to pick up the horses to his inside. He's floating around, but he knuckles down the last 100 metres to win the race in solid time. It's a lot stronger on Saturday, but I think he'll be fitter for that run. I think he's better suited to 1,400, and he's a horse that I think will really appreciate the blinkers. And what I am hoping is from out of the gates, the blinkers going on can just help him to begin a little better, hold a position from the inside draw, and I think he can run really well. But it sounds like you're keen on Wise In-Law.
I thought he was over the odds, and at that $6 we can play $15 to win. Miwa, blinkers on. I'm just a bit concerned where he gets, so he flops out of the gates. He actually jumped out quite well, but I can't trust him out of the gates. Burma Star was good behind Legacy Bound last start, and Lawborough going to be right up on speed.
Yep, we'll be forward. I'm with Wise In-Law, same bet, on top. Think he should be favourite. He's not. He's going to go forward with that Southerly. Chowdown, I'm hoping, can jump well. I'm going to back him small 1x4. I think he's got a lot of talent and he doesn't quite know what he's doing yet. Burma Star's got the class, as does Young, but I'm a bit concerned for the map for those two. As we get a market for the third at Flemington with Ladbrokes. Gin Twist is your narrow favourite, in from 340. There's been a couple of scratchings this morning. Jadzia 280, Santono Glow at 360. So a race in 3 according to the market. Jadzia is a horse that you've always had a bit of time for, Dave. She's featured on the Analyser a few times and then been scratched on race morning. Bumped into a potentially pretty good one when she finally did go to the races and ran well. Beaten
by Medicinal, who prior to that had beaten Bigwigs, who won the showdown there at Caulfield as well. So, yeah, that form stood up, and, you know, it took her a while to get to the racetrack as well. She was a while, she had a couple of jump outs and then some setbacks, went back and jumped out. So it was a nice run. In terms of backing her on the weekend, I am a little bit scared of Gin Twist. She's got to do it up in distance, but that was pretty slick time last start, and I don't think she was really stopping on the line. She'll roll forward, had a tick over jump out between runs. I didn't have much between them, not enough in the price for me to play Jadzia from Gin Twist. Santono Globe ran good closing splits last time out at Warwick Farm, so still has a lot of upside, of course. I'm leaning the way of the race brigade, but not betting.
Yeah, I can see it completely similar. Just too many variables. The distance, the conditions, the straight track, bookings, draws, etc. Not a race I wanted to bet in. Saw it very similarly. We'll head to a break here on the Analyser. Got more quality action to preview at Flemington on the other side. Welcome back to the Analyser. We'll get a market now for the fourth race at Flemington with Ladbrokes, and this is an 1100 metre benchmark contest where Stolly Bolly, favourite again, $3.50 ahead of Castellar at $6.50, Wolfie 9 into $8.50, My Temptations at 9, Actuality $9.50, Shining Smiles 10, and we're going to go all the way down to More Mum, who's been 31 into $10. Second up for the new stable, well backed. Let's have a look at Actuality, $9.50 in a very open race outside of the favourite. We're going to a jump out here, Dave, and it features the favourite as well.
It does. This was Stolly Bolly's first jump out. He subsequently jumped out with Bakash. We're going to have a look at that jump out later in the piece for the 3-year-old sprint, but this was Actuality's second jump out. Her first jump out was a lot quieter. Geez, this is really nice work. Really sharp work. If this was a good track, I think that I could stake her a bit higher than what I have. There's just a couple of inconclusive runs for her on tracks that are rain affected. It's not enough to say that she absolutely doesn't handle it, but who knows what happens in the morning if the track comes up soft. Do the stable sort of hold her off? But off that work, I did want to follow her to a fresh run, and even though he wasn't really asked for an effort there, Stolly Bolly, we judge him on his second jump out, which was only fair. But although he drops in grade, he does look pretty short for a horse that's not winning.
Although his second jump out was really good, Stolly Bolly, but we'll have a look at another horse here that you're keen to back here in More Mum, who joined the Maddie Dale stable. We'd known her quite well. What is really encouraging about this is it probably suggests she might be getting back to somewhere like her best. Let's not forget, her best was at Flemington 1100 where she beat Neons, who had excuses that day, but on soft ground.
It was the last time she won a race, and she ran the fastest closing splits of the day, so she handles the track, she's drawn out. What I liked about this run was she was home really hard relative to the rest of the program, but she was first up new camp, no public work. Late in the piece went 21 to $11. Now they space her runs, no public work between runs. So fresh is best. She's won down the straight. And, of the 7 runners through that race, there's been 2 winners and another 3 placings. So the form has stood up. She's been heavily supported. I've made Nimbus 2000 a really good result in this as well. I think he's flying. The wet track brings him into it. He's drawn out. He ran through the line on the Heath track last start. More next best result. Handles the conditions, handles the straight. Actually just gone a little colder since that downgrade, but if she wins, I don't want to lose, so I'm betting around Stolly Bolly as favourite.
Yeah, I can understand that. I went with Stolly Bolly on top because I think he's potentially the class horse of the race, but I think More Mum's in the conversation. Salsa Fallow loves soft ground, but the inside draw are concerned. you've outlined horses like Nimbus 2000 as well. So not a betting race for me, a very open contest. As we get a market now for the 5th race on the program. This is a 2,000 metre handicap where Zakouma has been heavily backed, 280 into 230. Jareth's been well supported, 6 into 460. Ambassadorial at 650. Panto Warrior at $20. How about the drift for Fujita Sand? First price I saw was $7. He's now a $23 shot. We'll go to a couple of replays here. Zakouma is the one that the market likes, and do you think, has he come back a better horse this preparation, Dave? And I thought Panto Warrior was quite good, if not no match for Zakouma.
He's come back significantly better. He always threatened to be a good horse, but he sort of lost his way towards the back end of last preparation. But his return on the Heath track is what good horses do. Overall time was fast, but coupled with his fast overall time, his last 200 metre split still rated top 10 on the program. And then it was a little bit of a different scenario second up. The race didn't go quite as hard. He sits back, loops them, shows a huge turn of foot. This is over 1,800 metres. His last 200 metres, 6th fastest on the program. The further they went, the more he wins by. I think Flemington, 1,200 metres. And the booking of Willie Pike, for a horse that likes to float back and time his run like that, I think that's a pretty good jockey booking. If you didn't take that sort of $283 that went up, I'd suggest you hold off because he's got to his shortest sort of rock bottom odds now. I think we'll get better late in the piece, but I've got him as clearly the one to beat.
Let's have a look at a horse that you were really keen on last time out. I had him on top. And look, he was disappointing for Fujita Sand, didn't get the victory. 2 starts ago at the track and distance at Flemington, ridden back in the field, he was outstanding on debut for the Jackson stable. He was there to win last time out and no doubt disappointing. I find it hard to fathom the market has just completely binned him, though, given his price last time out.
Oh, I took this a little personally, though, to be honest. I know we've got to be objective, but I think he shirked it. He got in front of the horse.
Completely agree, he shirked it. Yeah.
He got in front of the horse that ended up fending him off back towards the inside, and I know he's got that ambassadorial form prior. I did put him second pick, but I don't want to back him. Jareth, down in the weights, ambassadorial did beat Fujita Sand or close enough, a couple back, but he's the best on the program for me, Zakouma. I don't want to back or save on anything else. I would suggest, though, that we get a better price closer to the jump.
I'm going to have something 1x4 on the horse that shirked it last time out for Fujita Sand. I think getting back to Flemington is a huge plus for him. I just think the price is wrong. So little something, 1x4, more the place. He'll probably loom up and run somewhere second to fifth, but I can't justify him being that big a price. Zakouma's airborne, Ambassadorial will go forward, and Jareth just got to do it, not over race at 2,000 metres. So that's the little query for that horse. As we go to one of the features on the program, the VRC Sprint Classic. My Gladiola easing 240 to 260 despite her credentials at the track. Legacy bound 390 to 340. Firming and Educated, the X Factor horse, is the other big chance in the market, $4.50 to $4.20. Let's have a look at My Gladiola. And look, probably a more relevant replay would have been 2 starts ago where she went terrifically in a Black Caviar Lightning. The damage was already done here, Dave, when she got really keen. You still would have probably liked to have seen a little bit more over the concluding stages, but I just think this horse is better placed. I know she ran well in a high-pressure Coolmore when she was given that run where she's held up sprint, but I do think 1,000 to 1,100 is her absolute sweet spot where she's beaten Legacy Bound previously, and she does have a 2-0 record over him.
She was just a bit keen last start as well, so I think drawing barrier 9 of 10 might help her just sort of float and get some galloping room. I can't knock anyone making a case for her because her form is the standout on paper. She's 2-0 up against the second favourite.
Let's have a look at one you are making a case for at a big price in Bakash, who just continues to improve this galloper, doesn't he? And he looks like he's jumped out really nicely.
He needs to go to a new level. He does resume gelded, though, and we know that's a really positive gear change. His jump-out work's been excellent. This is Stolly Bolly to his outside. Bakash leads the jump-out. I thought he was under a little less pressure than Stolly Bolly, and then through the line, Bakash, he certainly wasn't stopping. It was an outstanding piece of work. He's run well down the Flemington Straight on a soft track in the past when he was just beaten over 1,200 metres. This is a play where I want to play him, and you've got the option with Ladbrokes now to play the top 4.
Yep.
And I'm going to do, in an analyser first, I'm going to have a something on him to win, because it would just be hurtful if he won and I didn't. But just something on him top 4 as well. You know, I can see him beating, one of My Gladiola, legacy-bound, educated home. I think it's unlikely he beats all of them home, but I can see him running a big race first up.
Big cash at a price there for Dave. I've made My Gladiola the best in the program. I think there's some real advantages for her over her opposition. Wide draw, tick, given the southerly, the soft ground. Soft ground she's proven on. It's a query for legacy bound. It's a query for educated. She's 2-0 over legacy bound. She comfortably beat Tycoon Star last preparation on a couple of occasions. So I think she's drawn to advantage, soft track advantage, and 1100, a big tick for her, and maybe a query for some of the opposition. So we'll head to a break here on the Analyser. On the other side, we've got a few more races to look at Flemington, including the feature of the Australian Cup. Welcome back to the Analyser. Time now to get a market for the Roy Higgins, thanks to Ladbrokes. And this offers ballot exemption into the Melbourne Cup, and lit steel's been well supported, 280 into 250. Paradise Storm, very easy, 440 to 550. Whiskey on the Hill, 650 into 550. And Desert Hero is the other one on the equal second line of betting. Let's have a look at Desert Hero and the favourite Lit Steel, who come through. Whiskey on the Hill was in the race too. A fast run race on a day it was hard to get back and make ground, and Akora just kept rolling along in front.
She was a real eye-catcher, Lit Steel, against the pattern of the day. She was right up on a fast tempo first up in the car line. We can forgive that, and she was only beaten 3.5 lengths. This is the race that the stables had circled from a long way out after she won over 2,800 metres on Cup week. They want to get her into a Melbourne Cup where I think she'll be quite competitive. She's quite an athletic stayer. There's only 2 horses, I think, can win this race, and they come through this race. The other one is Desert Hero. He was first up into this race, giving away fitness to Lit Steel. That's him with the green sleeves there, the blue and white checkers. And he was actually really travelling at the top of the bend, and he just got out a bit too late. Some of his numbers on wet tracks and overstaying trips in Europe are actually quite terrifying, and the presence of him means I just have to have a bit of a saver on him, because I think he's the only horse that can beat her. I'm making her a nice result, Lit Steel. I'll have a Quinella as well. Still run, he was actually good at Flemington a couple back. He was a bit plain in a bit of a weird race in that Tawny Night Cup. He goes in the multiples. Paradise Storm, back in distance, maybe the wet track brings him into it, but I think it's a 2-horse race.
I see it's very similar. No bets for me, but yeah, I think one of those two is likely to win. And I think they've got a bit of an edge on the opposition. The soft ground's a huge query for one smooth operator. I think they might be a bit sharper than Paradise Storm. So I'm 13 from 6, clearly in that order, but I do think that one of those two is likely to win the race. As we get a market now for the feature, the Group 1 Australian Cup, where Birdman's your $3.50 favourite. Tom Kitten has been easy, $4.20 to $5. Pride of Jenny's been very easy out to $5. And a big go, $9.50 into $5.50 for Luke Like a Lucy, best back runner in the race, ahead of Apulia and Sabage. So we're going to have a couple of key replays to look at here. There's 2 main lead-ups. They were the All-Star Mile and also the Peter Young. So we'll start off with the All-Star Mile. Dave, I've been saying it for a long time, and on the Analyser too, that if they stay with Pride of Jenny, it's your best chance of somebody trying to beat her. I thought Evaporate and Tom Kitten were brilliantly ridden, and they've run fast overall time, and they can get Pride of Jenny, who was tough, but they were too good for her.
She was good through the line. She looked like a mare that wanted 2,000 metres, but we've seen that in the past, and I think just at this stage she's going to be more effective over the mile. I thought Stepati was close enough to the run of the race, but it was all honours the winner, Tom Kitten. He was flushed in and out of cover. I've got him marked as the best 2,000 metre horse in the race. He's won over the trip in the past. He saw a heavy track in the Champion Stakes where he was third to Via Sistina, and he was also placed in a Queen Elizabeth last autumn as well. So I've got no concerns with him getting to 2,000 metres. I wanted to find one horse through that race because they ran at such a fast tempo, and I landed on him.
Yep, I can understand that. As we go to the other key lead-up, the Peter Young Stakes, which was run at Caulfield the day the fence was off. You had Buckaroo, who was below his best. Light Infantryman led them up. Look, he needs high pressure, which he will get with Pride of Jenny being in the race. If, for whatever reason, they don't go hard, then Birdman is perfectly placed. He's just smoking this preparation, as he did last time. He was going to win from a long way out, and he put them to the sword. The question is, with Pride of Jenny in the race, can he still be as effective in a real high-pressure test?
That's the question that leaves me out of 350, because he did get a lovely scenario last start. Light infantryman went a bit too slow. It might have been in the back of Harry Coffey's mind that he was off sort of 5 or 6 weeks. He fights back through the line, Light infantryman. I thought he was under the odds, Birdman. He's got to cope with that high pressure. The horse that's going to relish it is Light infantryman. He sits in the 1-1. Pride of Jenny goes forward just fine. He follows across Filia. He gets that high pressure, and he's just going to be in that sweet hitting zone following the speed. I'll make him a nice result. Also, Tom Kitten through the All-Star Mile.
Yeah, I've gone a different path. This horse just continues to be back, so it's not anywhere near the price I thought I'd be taking. But like a Lucy in that Australian All-Star Mile, I should say, last time out, fastest last 200 of the race, doing a usual thing, laying in. She's looking for 2,000 metres and has been for a couple of preparations. That's the real key to her. Tom Kitten, the class, Birdman, Airborne, just a bit worried whether he'll be as effective at that price in the high-pressure races. We go to a market now for the second last, race number 9, and Celerity, who has won really well at the track previously, 450 to 420. Could go here for recon. How about that for a move? 11 into $5. Live as we speak. Grand Larceny, $6. Way to the Stars, $6.50. Midwest Pisanello. This is a very open contest, and Dave, we're going to make a case for one at a nice price there in Pisanello, who's at $8. Couple of ticks, run well down the straight previously, jumped out really nicely, and has that wide draw.
Yeah, sets up really nicely. First up today. That's actually him leading the jump out in the white.
Yes.
The horse that was highlighted there is Barraquil, who was having a mid-prepper. We know he's a Group 1 sprinter. He works with that horse. Also Devil Knight too, who went place in a Group 1. So this is nice jump out form. What I've liked about his jump outs is for the new camp, he's actually been quite switched on. He could flop out the gates when he was with James Cummings. He could get too far back. He actually ran the fastest close of the day one day at Scone when he was beaten home by Kabbalah. So we know he's got to turn a foot, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's a bit closer, just blending in that right part of the track, and he can run a big race. He's off 42 weeks, but they've given him quite a few jump outs leading into this to get the fitness up. Yeah,
the key is those horses against him, Barraquil and Devil Knight, wasn't it? Race fit, Group 1 sprinters. So that's an excellent jump out. Any bets for you?
I'll be backing Pisanello and also Tiger Shark. She's got a big turn of foot and she's drawn the right part of the track. Her best actually measures up. She's over the odds from Way to the Stars, Midwest. Celerity way under the odds. Barrier 1 this time of the day. Beat Mic Drop last start. This is way harder.
Yeah, I'm surprised she's as short as she is. Way to the Stars is a bit of an underrated horse for me. I thought he ran quite well in an Oakley Plate. It was a great win 2 starts ago. 1,000 metres the key. Is a track and distance winner. Yeah, I think Pisanello is over the odds in relation to Celerity of the Godolphin horses. No bets for me in the second last. There might be a few bets for us in the last race on the program. Just a deal well back, 16 to 420. Obviously, Inzudo comes out. He goes either to Sydney or scratch from both. El Duke has been 650 to 550. Taken 650. Cafe Millennium's in the market. Can he run a mile? That's a huge question. Let's have a look at a couple of replays Dave wants to see. One of them being El Duca, who I know you were really keen on. He was a horse to follow after this first up run. He's
a good horse. He was first up. He gave away fitness to Harry's Yacht, and also 1,400 metres is short of his best. I really loved the way when Harry's Yacht levelled up to him late in the piece. He sort of stuck his neck out and he fought back through the line. He held Athanatos, who is placed in a Sandown Stakes behind Evaporate and Transatlantic, so no slouch. He's going to be much better suited up in distance second up, and he's very progressive, so he gets a bit of weight relief. He's drawn out. They'll press the button and roll forward. I think he can roll across. He could even lead, sit outside the leader. He's got that good tactical speed. I really wanted to follow him off that fresh run.
Does look a lot of speed in the race, but the southerly will certainly help those on-pace runners. Let's have a look at another horse who probably won't lead, but might take a sit just in behind them in Aaron Bay. Vidad, he had his opportunity last time out, but Aaron Bay was a bit too good for him. It looks like Vidad will take his chance. I don't like Vidad on soft ground, though. I think that's a negative for him.
Major negative. Whether they run is a bit of a query, but this was a new peak rating for Aaron Bay. And interestingly, deep into his career, he got blinkers first time. He sits outside a strong tempo. Overall time was fast, and he still displayed late strength as well. I loved this performance. I think if he can repeat what he did there He has handled soft tracks in the past. He gets that lovely run in behind the speed. He does look a little over the odds. I've made him a result as well as El Duca. Golden Path, got some pretty good form around him in a Group 1 at Caulfield. Good horse. Marigold, I'm not quite sure about the wet track, but she was good and luckless last start. Just a deal. Wait, couldn't even win an Echuca Cup.
Yeah, looks too short for me. You mentioned Golden Path. I thought the jump out of Land Legend was much better than Golden Path. He's a horse who first up last prep on wet ground, charged home to finish alongside Birdman in a decent race in Sydney over 1400. Now in the Mar stable, he's changed camps. Based off his jump outs, I think they've got him absolutely flying. And he's basically done all his racing at Group 1 or Group 2 level in recent preparations. He's a real talent, wet tracker plus, jump out terrific. I'm just going to have something small 1x4 at a huge price, thinking they might have him airborne. Dave, looks like plenty of bets for you. How are we playing it?
Great Dave Racing. Wise in Law is the map horse in race 2. I'm having 3 bets around Stolly Bolly in race 4. Zakouma best of the day. Just wait, we get a better price late. For cash, something to win and something top 4. I loved his jump out. He resumes gelded. 2-horse race in the Roy Higgins. 2 bets in the feature Australian Cup. Pisanello, Tiger Shark look over the odds, and El Duca and Aaron Bader bring it home.
Plenty of bullets like it. I'm just going to have something tiny in the first on Popperwood because I think the favourite's way under the odds. I like the 2-bet play of Wise in Law, the map horse, and Chowdown, who I think is the raw talent for G-Desan. Look, Mark's just binned him, I don't know why. My Gladiola, my best, like a Lucy, the Australian Cup value, and come home with a roughie in the last. That's it for Australian Cup Day at Flemington. We'll be back to do it again on the Analyser next week.